The morning sun spills softly through the wide windows of a small-town diner, giving everything inside a warm, golden glow. The faint sound of a jukebox hums in the background, playing an old country tune that blends with the gentle clatter of plates and the sizzle of bacon on the grill. At the far end of the counter sits a quiet man, dressed simply in a leather jacket and worn jeans. His face is calm, unreadable, and his eyes remain fixed on the cup of steaming black coffee in front of him. He doesn't speak, doesn't glance around, just observes in silence, content in the stillness. The door suddenly swings open with a loud jingle of the bell, breaking the peaceful rhythm. A group of rowdy young men walk in, their laughter echoing through the diner. They carry the kind of arrogance that feeds on attention. The leader, a tall, muscular man with tattoos and a smirk, starts making loud jokes, teasing the waitress as she nervously tries to take their order. Other customers shift uncomfortably in their seats, lowering their eyes, wishing to avoid trouble. The quiet man takes a slow sip of his coffee, glancing up for just a second. His gaze is calm, sharp, and steady. He doesn't say a word, but the brief look is enough to catch the bully's attention. The bully pauses, staring back with irritation, not used to being ignored. A crooked grin spreads across his face as he mutters something to his friends, pointing toward the quiet man. The laughter grows louder, their voices filling the small space. But the man doesn't flinch, doesn't even blink. He simply sets his cup down and waits, the calm before a storm no one else can see coming. The bully leans back in his chair, cracking his knuckles as he eyes the quiet man sitting calmly at the counter. His friends snicker behind him, encouraging his arrogance. The waitress, sensing what's about to happen, nervously whispers for him to stop, but he just waves her off with a mocking grin. The diner, once filled with easy conversation, now feels heavy with silence. Even the jukebox seems to hum quieter as the bully stands and strides toward the man, his boots thudding against the tiled floor. He stops beside the quiet man, towering over him. "What's the matter, old man?" he says loudly, making sure everyone hears. "Too good to say hello." The quiet man doesn't respond. He simply takes another slow sip of coffee, his expression calm, his body still. The bully taps the counter impatiently, then knocks on the man's cup, trying to provoke him. The man finally looks up, meeting the bully's eyes with a calm, unshaken stare that sends an unexpected chill down the bully's spine. The silence stretches between them. The bully forces a laugh to cover his unease. "Didn't think so," he sneers, and before anyone can stop him, he grabs the man's coffee cup and tips it over, letting the hot liquid spill onto the floor. The waitress gasps, a few customers stand, unsure what to do. The quiet man's gaze doesn't waver. He just says in a low, steady voice, "You should walk away." The bully freezes for a second, confused by the man's confidence. His friends laugh again, pushing him to act tougher. Embarrassed, he shoves the man's shoulder. That single act of aggression changes everything. The air in the diner thickens, and everyone senses that something dangerous is about to unfold. The instant the bully's hand makes contact, the quiet man moves with lightning precision. Before anyone can even process what's happening, he grabs the bully's wrist, twisting it effortlessly and forcing him face first onto the counter. The sound of cracking joints and the bully's startled groan break the tense silence that had filled the diner. The man's movements are smooth, controlled, almost too fast to follow, no wasted motion, no hesitation. Chairs scrape against the floor as the bully's friends rush forward, but they don't make it far. The quiet man pivots sharply, using the bully's arm to throw him aside, then sidesteps the first attacker with calm precision. One swing comes toward him, but he ducks, grabs the man's arm, and flips him cleanly over his shoulder, sending him crashing into an empty booth. Another rushes from behind, only to be caught by a quick elbow to the ribs, followed by a sweeping kick that knocks him flat. The whole diner explodes into motion, coffee cups shatter, silverware scatters, and the waitress ducks behind the counter in shock. Yet through it all, the quiet man's expression never changes. His movements are deliberate, efficient, and eerily calm, the mark of someone who's been trained for situations far worse than this. Within seconds, the chaos ends. All three bullies lie groaning on the floor, holding their sides and arms, completely overpowered. The quiet man stands still, breathing evenly, as if nothing happened. The room is dead silent now, only the faint hiss of the grill and the hum of the ceiling fan fill the air. The waitress slowly peeks up, eyes wide with disbelief. The quiet man glances around, then straightens a chair that had fallen during the scuffle, as though it were just another ordinary morning. The diner is frozen in stunned silence. The smell of spilled coffee and broken glass hangs in the air as everyone stares at the quiet man, who now stands calmly among the wreckage. The bully, clutching his arm and wincing in pain, struggles to sit up on the floor. His earlier arrogance is gone, replaced by shock and fear. The quiet man steps closer, kneels down beside him, and speaks in a calm, measured tone. "You should think before you pick your fights," he says softly, his eyes steady and unreadable. The bully looks up at him, confused, humiliated, and trembling. From a corner booth, an older man who had been quietly watching stands up, his voice breaking the silence. "I know that face," he says, pointing at the quiet man. "That's Cole Matthews, former Navy SEAL." The room fills with gasps and murmurs. The waitress covers her mouth, realization dawning on her face. The bully's eyes widen as he looks at the man he just tried to humiliate. Cole doesn't react, he doesn't need to. His calm demeanor, his precision, his restraint, everything suddenly makes sense to everyone in the diner. The bully mutters, You're military." Cole simply gives a faint nod and replies, "Was. A long time ago." He stands, offering the bully a hand, not out of pity but out of principle. Hesitant, the bully accepts it. Cole helps him up, his grip firm but respectful. The moment carries a heavy silence, filled with regret, respect, and realization. The waitress steps forward, her eyes still wide with awe. "You could have hurt them bad," she says softly. Cole looks at her and replies, "Wouldn't have been a fair fight." Then he turns back to the counter, calm as ever, as the weight of his words lingers in the air. The police arrive minutes later, lights flashing outside the small diner, painting the glass walls with streaks of red and blue. The officers quickly assess the scene, three bruised and humbled young men sitting quietly in a corner, no longer loud or proud. The waitress explains what happened, her voice trembling with a mix of shock and admiration. The officers glance at Cole, the quiet man, standing by the counter, calm and collected as if nothing extraordinary just occurred. One officer, recognizing his name, simply nods respectfully and says, "We've got it from here, sir." Cole returns the nod, silent as always. The bully approaches him, head lowered, his earlier arrogance completely gone. I'm sorry," he stammers, his voice shaky. "I didn't know who you were." Cole studies him for a moment, then replies quietly, "Doesn't matter who I am. Respect isn't about rank or size, it's about how you treat people." The bully swallows hard, nodding, his face pale with shame. His friends say nothing, their eyes downcast, finally understanding the weight of their actions. Cole places a few bills on the counter to pay for his coffee, even though it lies shattered on the floor. The waitress smiles faintly, still amazed by his calm strength. As he walks toward the door, the morning sun breaks through the clouds, bathing him in soft, golden light. He pauses for a moment, glances back, and gives the waitress a gentle nod before stepping outside. The door closes behind him, and the diner slowly returns to life. The waitress looks out the window, watching him walk down the quiet street, his figure fading into the sunlight. Under her breath, she whispers, "Not all heroes wear uniforms." Inside, everyone knows they'll never forget the man who taught them what true strength looks like.